This is a 2020 call out, a challenge to all American citizens, a challenge to help each other in 2020. Let's start with this story. With one simple click, you may be able to help someone else. So please be kind and pay it forward in 2020. Let's help each other. Click that share button. You may just be someone's hero today. Thank you, and God bless. 2020 is a new decade for change because we are the people, we're the great American dream. We're the landowners, the homeowners, and the families. We have before us an ordeal of the most devious kind, and every homeowner is at risk. A government study claimed that 4 million homeowners are facing some kind of discrepancy in their mortgages. Foreign entities portraying as American companies are stealing land by the thousands because the American justice system has been distorted by fraud, and facts and law are being ignored by the courts, the judges, and simply by the attorneys. These are people that took oaths to protect us and to serve us. They have done nothing. That's why we're taking it to the streets. That's why I made this video. Because mainstream news doesn't cover it. Media doesn't cover it. It's like they don't even care. If it was them, it'd be all over the news. But being it's just us, I guess it doesn't matter. Well, to me, it does matter. And to 4 million other homeowners that are affected by this, it surely does matter. So I'm here to put everybody on Front Street, to show the way they fraud documents in a court and get away with everything they want to get away with. This is my story. In 2000, we bought property here in Texas, 3 lots. The 2 on each side of us have no buildings. Our homestead is the one in the center. In 2004, we took an equity loan on our home. That was in May of 2004. In October 2004, we had some issues with Ford Motor Credit, and they actually got a judgment for $12,000 against us. That was filed in the court records. We continued to pay on our loan, and in October of 2014, it was released, filed in the land records, Brownwood, Texas, Brown County. In 2016, a company called Select Portfolio Servicing, foreign-owned entity out of Salt Lake City, Utah, and their attorneys, Mackey, Wolf, Zients, and Mann out of Dallas, Texas, took it upon themselves to lie to the court and say that they owned our property. Now, with that said, I had taken some documents to court. They brought documents to court, and the judge denied their 736 foreclosure order for lack of them proving that they had any standing. So in April of 2017, they took us back to court and filed in the court this petition. This was filed as a civil debt collection suit in civil court. Within it, they're asking for the foreclosure. Now, they claim on page 2 that they're seeking title, possession, and foreclosure of the property for the loan agreement. We'll get to all that in a second. On page 4, they claim that the defendants, based on information, the defendants have never owned property located at 430 South 4th Street. Here is my 2006 tax statement. You see that address, 430 South 4th Street? Because we own 3 pieces of property right there. The top 2 are empty land. The bottom one is our homestead. Here is the loan application that they purported to the courts. You see the address down there, 430 South 4th Street. Now, along with that came this allonge to the note. Now, we're going to get to this in a second. But an allonge can only be used when the deed of trust does not have enough room for everyone's signature. Now you see these 2 signatures that are supposedly mine and my husband's, and 1 witness over here. Texas Property Code requires 2 witnesses or a notary. You see, it has none of those. Also, the deed of trust states, A, to be paid to the order of American General Finance, that it is free from all liens other than this loan, that we received a copy of all the signed documents, that the principal of this agreement, when added, cannot be more than 80% LTV. That's loan to value. And also that this agreement is only secured by the homestead and is not secured by any additional real or personal property other than the homestead. Now let's get into where this goes really bad for them. First off, it says pay to the order of American General Finance. But the allonge that they claim that they had to attach has no page number. It was stuck between page 2 and 3 of the deed of trust. But do you see who this is pay to the order of? Pay to the order of State Financial Services, Springleaf Incorporated, formerly known as American General Finance. Formerly known. But remember now, the deed of trust says pay to the order of American General Finance. The reason that this says Springleaf is because American General Finance got bought in 2010. And in 2011, the new owners named it Springleaf Financial. So if they weren't bought until 2010, and the name wasn't changed till 2011, how in the world did they sign this as American General Finance, or as Springleaf Financial, I'm sorry, in 2006? They didn't exist in 2006. So there is no possible way that this could have been signed in 2006. Also, there's some other things here, folks. Here's a substitute trustee's deed filed in 2014. This states that a Paul Vitt, the assistant vice president of Springleaf, signed that with Dana Handling as the notary. You will also notice this number right here. See that? The document number. Okay, we're going to get to all that in a second here. Second appointment of substitute trustees. Some of the substitute trustees here, you can see that, a few of them is L. Keller Mackey, Michael Zentz, and Brandon Wolf. All three attorneys at Mackey Wolf Science and Man. Now, the Texas statute 51.0074, duties of a trustee. Section B, a trustee may not be assigned a duty under security interest other than to exercise the power of sale. Well, you tell me why they're on there then. Because they're the attorneys for them, and they've placed themselves as substitute trustees. But yet none of them signed foreclosure. Now, also in Texas, for this to be legitimate, each person named as a substitute trustee must have their name and address written down, because you should always be able to get a hold of your trustee if there's a problem, correct? There are no addresses of any of the trustees. Let me also point out this 2006 note that they claim that we own. Now, first they tried to say that the 2004 loan was refinanced into the 2006 loan. If that was true, in 2014, they wouldn't have released the 2004 loan. That was the legitimate loan, the 2004 one. 2006 loan, here is some records from the Security and Exchange Commission. That the company, the completion date for the probable whole loan sales and the probable 2006 securitization asset sale is expected to be on or about September 30th of 2014. That was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Here also, Mears, Electronic Servicing. See that address? There's our address right there. It claims that City Financial, or City Mortgage in O'Fallon, Missouri, is who owns our mortgage. This MIN number and this mortgage does not exist with them because I called them. And they said, this isn't true. So I went to One Main Financial because now, see, American General Finance, aka Springleaf Financial, aka One Main Financial. Here's a record from One Main Financial. You see that balance? Balance 0. This was filed in TransUnion Credit Report. Balance 0. And this is by Springleaf. So then we get to a notice of acceleration. Now, this notice of acceleration apparently was supposedly sent July 10th, 2015. The loan numbers don't match. There's no notice of default. And here's the tracking records. The tracking records state that all these label created, not yet in system. And each one of those was tracked at the United States Postal Service.com. can track them yourselves if you want to write them down. Here's also another thing. Here's mortgage interest statement for calendar year 2010. Now in 2010, they were still American General Finance. So once again, the allonge says Springleaf. And here's the records that they put into court, that they supposedly sent those documents. And they even have their own little made-up tracking device thing. It's bullshit. They weren't sent. And you can go to the USPS website, put the numbers in yourself, and it will show label created, not yet in system. So once again, defrauding the court. Now, we have that substitute trustee who was signed, it was signed by Kim McElrath, which is a document control officer for Select Portfolio Servicing. June 18th of 2016. There we go. And notarized by Sobian Billingsley from Salt Lake City, Utah. Well, a search through the Utah notary for this gentleman, you see, no results, because he's not really a notary. Now, I have multiple documents that are signed and notarized by notaries that don't even exist. Supposedly our loan was signed in Abilene, Texas, but notarized in Weatherford, Texas. That's about 150 miles-ish. I'm sure we did not travel 150 miles for a notary. Her name also did not show up in the Texas Department of Notaries when there was a search done for her. So these people are trying to pull some serious shit. And I have many other documents that I would love to get into, but this would be a 4-hour video if I did that. And I'm trying to keep it under 20 minutes just for the sake of time and effort. And I know a lot of people would lose interest after that long. This is the reality, folks. This is the reality. These people have stolen property over and over and over again. And they'll come after yours even when you think you're safe. Nobody is safe from these people. Look at us. We didn't even have a loan. But yet here we are, foreclosed upon. The judge signing the papers, the same judge that denied their first request with the same evidence, now all of a sudden he gives it to them. So here's a motion in April 16, 2019, motion to modify summary judgment. I had asked for a new trial. This is also the same day. And an order of sale here. Judge Stephen Ellis, 35th District Court, Brownwood, Texas, signed all three. He gave them their motion. He denied me a new trial, even though I have all this evidence. And he signed an order of sale. And on September 3rd, 2019, our home was taken to the courthouse steps, and surprisingly, Select Portfolio Servicing recouped it, because this loan that went from $24,000 is now up to over $80,000. They couldn't sell the property. They have bundled illegal property. They're trying to take it all. They have taken it all. Thank you, Mr. Ellis. I appreciate your dishonesty. So I've taken it to federal court, and I will fight these people till the day I die, and it will be over my dead body that they foreclose on this house that they have no rights to. They do not own it. Every document has been frauded. I have no problem showing this. So to Mackey Wolf Zensenman, to Select Portfolio Servicing, to Judge Ellis in Brownwood, Texas, shame on all of you. You're all thieves. You're all somehow together in this, I'm sure. Maybe the payoff was great. I don't know. But the payoff to the truth, that's even greater. And this is the truth. And I have plenty more documents. Maybe I'll make another video. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe with hopes that this can get out in the media, with hopes that maybe somebody out there would give a damn about the homeowners in the United States, about the fraud that is running rampant through the courts. But are they going to forget about the little guy? Because they have so far. I see all kinds of story on the news, but I never see anything about homeowners being robbed of their property. So maybe a change for 2020. Maybe we could make this some headline news and bring out these thieves and bring out the documents that show all the fraud. Thank you for listening to my long rant, and I hope that you will share this video with someone you know, someone you care about, or somebody you don't even know, because maybe you'll help them by sharing it. And maybe someday you'll see this on the news, and I hope you do. God bless you all.